Hey friends, welcome back to the Star Lady. I'm Carmen and I'm here to chat with you today a little bit about what you might be experiencing this week and how that's reflected in some of the transits that are happening this week. For some context, I come at astrology from a Hellenistic perspective, so it's what the ancient Greeks studied. Thanks to Project Hindsight, which started in the 1980s, they discovered a lot of the ancient texts around Hellenistic astrology, which has afforded us opportunity to interpret those so we could better understand how it was the ancients engaged with the spiritual practice of astrology. And so I'm privileged and honored to sit here today and to share a little bit of that with you. So today I wanted to look at the coming week. There's not a lot going on in the beginning of the week. We have Mercury still moving out of their shadow, so there might be some hiccups around communication or lack of clarity in thinking. Just be really careful with any contracts you might be signing. Make sure you cross T's and dot I's, that you're reading the fine print for those types of things. And we have an interesting transit at the end of this week. We have the Sun squaring Uranus. The Sun in Virgo and Uranus in Gemini, both ruled by Mercury. So I'll be looking to do another video to explore some of those themes you might be experiencing with the Lord Mercury ruling both those planets at this time. Probably a lot of exciting energy around thoughts and communication, creativity, and business. So I'll be looking to explore a little bit more of that near the end of the week. But first we have the Sun moving into Virgo on August 22nd. So that's Friday of this week. And so the sign of Virgo, happy birthday to all our Virgos, by the way. So the sign of Virgo is an earthy, feminine sign in astrology. And what that means is it's a cooler energy, a little more grounded than, say, Gemini would be. And so that type of nature of the sign of Virgo shapes some of the archetypes that we might be experiencing in our lives, specifically around the Sun, which is represents our vitality, our life path. Virgos are often concerned in earthly matters and how they impact spiritual matters. The sign of Virgo is the sign that comes right before the fall equinox. The equinox is a sign of hibernation, of going internal. It's, hastens us into the darker part of the year, so it's a more reflective time. And so Virgo concerns herself with, is what I'm doing beneficial? Is what I'm doing going to get me to where I want to be? Is what I'm doing helpful? Virgo is caring. There's a nurturing aspect. There's a fastidiousness to Virgo in that attention to detail is really, really important. And so with the Sun transitioning into this sign, we might be experiencing a little bit more of a focus on these types of themes. So this, reflection around what is it I'm doing with my life, or, what is it I'm doing in work? Is this beneficial? Is this helpful? You're going to be focusing a little bit more on crossing those T's and dotting those I's. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so that's how that shows up. And there's a slowing down, I think, in Virgo, an earthiness, that groundedness, that rootedness that you might be experiencing more so in this time of year. It's also, in September, we're all kind of getting back into the swing of things after taking some time off in the summer. So wanting to structure our lives a little bit more, wanting to focus on the details that help to support us as we journey our road. Virgo's also creative, so there might be some new creative projects that you're excited about starting in this time. Some of the questions you might be, reflecting on or contemplating is, business ventures. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and so Mercury can speak to business and commerce. As well as there a discussion that you need to have with somebody, whether it's a boss or a friend or a loved one, to clear the air around something. Virgo is quite caring and wants to nurture those things, and uses her voice to do that. So communication is really important at this time. You might be, as you're moving into, preparing for the fall and getting back into work life, are there rearrangements that need to be made? Are there things that weren't working before and a correction or adjustment needs to be made in the work that you do? And as well, maybe kind of laying the groundwork for a new creative project that you're looking to spend some time with. So with the sun, which, as I've already said, represents our vitality and the things that, we derive life from, in this season of Virgo, there's probably more of a reflective phase that you're entering, a rethinking of how it is you're doing things in order to support you in pursuing what it is you're desiring to pursue. What's also interesting this week is on Saturday the 23rd, we have a new moon in Virgo. And the archetypes around a new moon are about setting intentions. The old is gone and the new is here. And so, as I've reflected a little bit about the sun in Virgo and how you might be experiencing that, the new moon is a perfect opportunity for you to set new intentions about themes in your life that speak to this area of your life. Now, this all depends as well, too, on where you might find Virgo in your chart. So we have 12 houses, and each of the signs in Hellenistic astrology is assigned to a house. So for instance, I have Virgo in my 9th house, and the 9th house can speak to God, speaks to spiritual practice, philosophy. It can speak to long distance travel or higher education. So for me, I might be thinking about, okay, is there a trip I want to take, and what plans do I need to set in motion to ensure that comes to fruition? Or another thing, it might be, am I thinking about going back to school? In the sign of Virgo, we also have the South Node, which can represent new beginnings and letting go of old things. So maybe I might be looking at, starting a new study, a new year of education. Or it could be a time of reflection around spiritual matters for me, like, what is it I believe? Is that helpful? Does that make sense to me? How do I want to implement that into my life? Themes like that. So depending on where this new moon falls for you, in which house, will depend on the themes that you will be setting these new intentions around. So maybe I can do a video a little later this week to talk about the different houses and how this new moon might be showing up for you. So with a new moon, why it's a new moon is it's become conjunct with the sun. So that means we can't actually see the moon. So the light of the sun has overpowered the moon. So she's sleeping a little bit. She's taking a bit of a rest, coming out of that balsamic phase of letting things go and thinking about starting new endeavors. And so with that, what's interesting is this week we have both the sun and the moon will be squared Uranus. And Uranus in himself is a sign or a planet, that speaks to surprises, energy, something that's really disruptive, new beginnings, shocking things that happen. Uranus is about liberation. So in a way, it could be with this new moon and setting intentions around this new moon, looking at implementing things into your life that are going to release you, that are going to set you free. And maybe thinking outside of the box a little bit. With Mercury in play with these two signs, with the Sun and the Moon in Virgo and Uranus in Gemini, playing with this idea, Mercury ruling both of those signs, playing this idea of thinking of kind of outside the box, of new and innovative ways of like how you can implement those things that you are thinking about, that you're dreaming about. So a little bit of the themes that you might be encountering this week with these transits happening. So what I'm going to look to do is a little bit of tarot advice for the Sun moving into Virgo. And then I'm going to break down a little bit more later on in the week about this new moon squaring Uranus and some of what you might be experiencing with that. So that's it for this morning's video. I hope you have a fabulous week and that this new Mercury energy lifts you up and that you feel inspired with this Sun and new moon transit coming at the end of this week. All right, folks, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.